What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and of course, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Tell a friend you need a roof, holler at HUDCO. All right. No real earth-shattering developments for LSU baseball. Of course, they are now in the market for a new coach, officially on the market for a new coach after Palmineri announced his retirement. Of note is that Kevin O'Sullivan, after Florida's loss in the SEC tournament, was asked about the reports about the LSU job, and he said, people can write whatever they want. I can't control what people write. I'm the coach in Florida. The old evasive non-answer answer. So anyway, clearly those questions are always kind of odd, right? Because no coach is going to come out and say, yes, I'm interested, I want the job, right? You can sort of gauge a coach's interest level by how adamant their denial is, and that was a complete not denial at all from O'Sullivan. I think it's everything we told y'all, man. He has interest. They've not. I can put it to you this way: during the season, before the season, while LSU still had a coach, and while Kevin O'Sullivan's coaching in Florida, official LSU representatives can't interact, right? So you have people that do that, that gauge interest, that work through intermediaries, how that's been done, and that's been a months-long process now with O'Sullivan. I don't think that's any secret to anybody anymore. It really is. I think terms they'll get to. I think it's really a matter of when it comes time for O'Sullivan to poop or get off the pot, does he say, let's go? And then will LSU admins rubber stamp it? I think that would be the number one question. Because without going into too much detail, there's some things off the field that I think might give LSU pause. But then again, Kevin O'Sullivan has been in the SEC and at Florida for as long as he has, and so I think that's kind of where it is. As for the sorry, we'll say some good mornings here in a second. Now, as for the NCAA tournament, the bad news, let's see if I can get like updated projections after yesterday's game. The bad news is that Liberty was eliminated from their conference tournament. So, okay, D1 Baseball hasn't posted their bracket projections yet this morning, but the good news is that okay, babe. Yeah, I'm listening. So we're kind of keeping our eye on bid stealers, right? So Congrats to McNeese. They won the Southland. They're in. VCU won the A10. They're in. So that means no bid stolen there. Central Florida beat East Carolina. So that means the AAC is going to be a two-bid league. So that's a stolen bid. That means because East Carolina is getting in as an at-large, you wanted East Carolina to win that tournament. Well, they'll have a different conference champion now, so someone's going to win that conference and make it, and then ECU is going to make it as an at-large. So it's one stolen bid. Liberty, as I mentioned, lost in their conference tournament. I don't know for sure that Liberty's going to get an at-large. They have a strong case, but Jacksonville won the A-Sun. And if you look at Liberty's resume, so Liberty would need an at-large berth to get in. All right, so Liberty, their RPI is 37, lower than LSU's. Quad 1 wins, 7, fewer than LSU's. Their strength of schedule is 10. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Their strength of schedule is 161st. That's the big differentiator. Their non-conference strength of schedule is 10. Hi, Hirsch. Good to see. Oh, we got Hershey with us again. Can I have a kiss? Love you, Hershey. Oh, Hershey came to hang out this morning. So Liberty has a case to be made for an at-large, but I don't know if, I certainly don't think they're guaranteed an at-large bid. Anyway, all right, let me say some good mornings. I'll get to your questions. So just a couple of the things that we're keeping an eye on. Yesterday, D1's baseball projections had LSU as the second to last team in the field. So we will find out mañana. But cheer for the chalk is basically what we got to do. All right, Kelly Presley, good morning. Bubba Tatum, happy Sunday, fresh out of Facebook jail. Yo, it's another reason why, like, crypto or blockchain technology, whatever you want to call it, is going to be so valuable. Like, when you're talking about decentralized social media, social media apps on blockchain where it's decentralized and Zuckerberg can't ban you because he doesn't like something you posted. Derek Maness, good morning. Troy Abear, good morning. Kelly Gross, good morning. The Glove Doctor, good morning. A little bit of a spam job there, but okay, we'll allow it. Adam Contreras, what's up, Skip? Had 10 people come in yesterday, said they heard you talk about the burgers. Thank you again. There you go. Dude, y'all got to go see. So Skip is, I was over at Chris's Specialty Foods, and he brought us, we were supposed to do like a good on it, man. We were supposed to do, to tell you sometimes how radio gets flipped on its head. So during football season, we have the Jay Ducote tailgate segment on Fridays with Terry. We do a tailgate recipe, all this stuff. Well, Skip was like, hey man, look, we got these ribeye burgers. It's ribeye and filet tips, like we made into burgers, and we're selling, like, and you get them like buy one get the second pack half off, whatever. He's like, can we give, like, let's do like a memorial, if you're interested, we'll do a Memorial Day kind of set. I was like, yeah, it'd be good. So we planned for 4:30. So Thursday we had it planned for Friday at 4:30, and then Paul Maneri announces his retirement and the press conference is at 4:30. But he still brought us the tray of burgers, so we had him on the set on Friday, and got to munch in a little bit. So Tony Williams, good morning. Andrew Bayer, I make your Instagram story, but I still don't have a hat. Geez. Oh, a Hudco hat? You were on the Hudco Instagram because you made the comment. Well, look, man, we got to get those hats out. I know. It's on me. to just start compiling addresses and sending to those who have asked. I've got obviously the short list of people who are like OG morning sconers who have been asking. But yes, Andrew, you will get a hat as well for sure. Devin Kelly, what's up, man? It's not just me. Reagan Lee, with East Carolina being out losing, that means 2 from the ACR. And how many more bid steals should we be nervous? So, looks like Chalk's going to hold in Conference USA. Basically, Liberty is the other one that you got to hope is out of the field. You don't need the A-Sun being a 2-bid league. So Jacksonville won that conference tournament, so it's a bummer. But really, you needed Liberty and East Carolina to win those leagues, and that would have basically locked it up. Now you're a little nervous, so we'll see. Jonathan Martin, good morning. Troy Bear, with the bid steals yesterday, you think the Tigers still get in? So, Troy, as of yesterday, D1 Baseball had LSU as the second to last team in the field. If 2 bids were stolen, that would drop LSU out if Liberty still gets in at large. It may come down to Liberty or LSU as an at large. And I would still take LSU's resume over Liberty's. Brand Roban, morning Scone. Who would you like to see take over LSU baseball? So I guess I'm operating like within reality, right? I mean, as far as names I've heard and conversations I've had over many months now, by the way, as we've talked about. But everyone, we've already kind of talked about the Sullivan piece there. I'm not going to say definitively that it's a 2-man race, but the odds are going to be on O'Sullivan, and if not O'Sullivan, Cliff Godwin. I think that's going to be. I mean, I could throw out names. I mean, I could throw out the same names everybody else is. I could throw out Tony Vitello. I could throw out Dan McDonald at Louisville, who's not leaving Louisville, by the way. Like, I've been telling you all that for weeks and weeks and weeks. I could throw out Jim Schlossnagle at TCU, but I can tell you that I did have a conversation on Friday with someone very close to Schlossnagle who said he's not heard from anyone at LSU. So my feeling on Schloss is that's a red herring. If you hear that name, they're throwing it out there to throw people off the scent of who they're really after. I mean, I could throw those names, but you just got to understand it's far down the road already. It's really far down the road already. I'll hop over here and say what's up to the YouTube peeps. My apologies, y'all. I know I'm bad about bouncing back and forth. Like I go down the rabbit hole of one feed, and that's why eventually I'm going to get it all on VMix and have one feed of comments, chronologically, regardless of what platform they're from. And I'm getting to it. Just I haven't bitten the bullet yet on the price. So anyway. Cliff Nelson, what's up, man? Stacy Schilling, good morning. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Please hit the like if you're watching there on YouTube. Appreciate it. Trivia, what's up? Good morning. Tim Gotro, Spurge, what's up? Merrick Mathern, Eric Wilderotter. Morning, Matt. Sorry if I missed. As a fan, it's hard to see the forest from the trees. Where do you think the LSU baseball job ranks in the country? What jobs are in the same neighborhood? No, it's a good question, Eric. I guess my feeling on Eric, it's so different now than when Maneri was hired in 2007. And the reason is because, think of it this way, Eric. In 2007, Vanderbilt had not yet won their first national title. So Maneri got hired. 2007 was Vandy's first title with David Price and that whole crew. Actually, you know what? They didn't win it in 2007. That was David Price, but I think they were the number 1 overall seed and lost their regional that year. Yeah, I don't think they won it in 2007. They won it in 14 and 19. That's right. Okay. So, but they were the number 1 seed, and David Price became the first pick, and also anyway. But since then, Vanderbilt's won 2 national titles. South Carolina's won 2 national titles. Florida's won a national title. You know what I mean? Like Florida's built a new ballpark. Mississippi State has built their palace out there. South Carolina built their ballpark since Maneri was hired. Kentucky just built a new ballpark. You see what I mean? Like Coastal Carolina won a national championship. Fresno State won a national championship. The whole, like, the landscape of college baseball has changed so dramatically in the last 15 years that the pack has caught up to LSU, if that makes sense. You know, when LSU opened up the new box, you know, it has this $40 million palace, and it's like nothing like college baseball had ever seen before. Well, now that's just not uncommon, right? So it's still a premier job, and it still has the premier fan base and fan engagement of any job in college baseball. But look at the job Dave Van Horn's done at Arkansas. I mean, they were in a championship series. Mississippi State's been in a championship series since LSU, since Paul Maneri was hired. You know, it's just, so I'm not trying to say it's, this is a little evasive, but I'm saying, you know, LSU, as far as fan engagement, there's nothing really like it. Mississippi State, Arkansas, Ole Miss, South Carolina, they've all got great fan support as well. It's just, there's a reason LSU led the nation in attendance for 20 whatever years. It's just, they were, you know, they were first to the party and have so much history built in there that I don't know that anybody catches them and surpasses them on that front. But as far as resources and investment into baseball, etc., I mean, it's, you know, there's a handful of jobs in college baseball that are, as you put it, in that neighborhood. Vanderbilt is a little bit of an outlier because of the resources they have, which really isn't level. But you know, LSU, Mississippi State, you know, Texas is a really good job. Arkansas is a really good job. Florida and Georgia. Georgia's the one that's confounding. The biggest showcase in the country and the glut of players per capita are right there in Atlanta and in South Georgia and in North Florida. The fact that Georgia isn't a machine every year is absolutely inexcusable. That's the one that I just don't get. Why they don't win more. Anyway. Cliff Nelson, instead of mailing out hats, let's do another Hudco hat party at Sazerac House. Let's go. Yeah, we can get the New Orleans crowd in there. I'm down for that. For sure. Juan tried to catch O'Sullivan yesterday in Hoover after the Florida game, but no luck. And good morning from Hoover. There you go, Juan. Good to see you, man. Rap in batches. What's up? Meridoc, what's up, man? Cliff, is Coinbase a good platform to buy crypto? So Coinbase is the largest crypto platform, crypto exchange, Cliff. It is a centralized exchange, and they do have high fees, but as far as like ease of use and things like that, yes. The trouble that you also have is that not all tokens are available on Coinbase. So for example, like I wanted to buy Polkadot. You've heard me say that before. Well, Polkadot isn't available on Coinbase, so I had to go to crypto.com to buy that. So it's still so new, man. Like a lot of the challenge right now is interoperability, but you know, among all the apps and dApps, but yes, Coinbase is a very good one. Yes. Let's see. Rap in batches. I'm sorry, he had a great run. He was at one time one of the best around, but every coach, like every player, has a time to walk away. Now is that time for Paul? Honestly, it's long overdue. Yeah, it's not. Of course, it's time, and he acknowledges much. I wouldn't say it's long overdue. I mean, they were in the championship series in 2017, and I maintain that but for Eric Walker's injury, they would have won it. Because you wouldn't have had Russell Reynolds going in game one. And no disrespect at all meant to Russell Reynolds, but I mean, he did his best, but that's a guy who battled a shoulder injury, just wasn't the same. And despite that, LSU still damn near won that game. And then you had Poche in game two, and Lang set up for game three. And And O'Sullivan went all in, taking Coar out of the bullpen. I mean, this is revisionist history here, but I mean, what if he won it in 17? 18 was a disappointment, certainly a step back, but 19, you were in a super regional, and last year probably wouldn't have been great, but we don't know. I mean, you had Cole Henry last year, and Jaden Hill, and Landon Marceau. I mean, and Daniel Cabrera, and Kay Doty. And you know what I mean? Like, who knows how they could have gone last year. So I think the long overdue thing is a little bit of a fan angry mob type scenario. But yeah, it was time. And Paul admitted it was time. That's why I walked away. Hey, bud. Good morning. What are you doing? Drew. Hey. He's just looking out the window. And hey. And he's gone. Okay. As always, y'all, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. After Hours Clinic is open today, so if you need an orthopedist, Brock might be taking Erica to the After Hours Clinic, because also her eye is like swollen shut. Last night her eyelids started to get puffy, one eye, and it was like, and now her eyelids are swollen shut. It's like, I was like, babe, take Benadryl, you're having a reaction or something. So she did last night, woke up this morning, it hurt so bad, still she can't open her eye. It's her right eye. Hi, Hirsch. Look at Hershey becoming a famous morning scone dog. Huh, Hirsch? Did you hear Drew? Where's Drew? Where's Drew? Where's Drew? Okay, he's gone. Brent Roban, morning scone. I think I answered that one. Patrick Cason, morning Matt. Oh, it's 17 minutes ago. Sorry, I'll catch up. Can you please wish twin sons Ashton and Austin happy 18th birthday? Indeed, happy birthday, fellas. Got to meet Patrick this year for a whiskey and wine over at Don Juan Cigar Bar. I know he's proud of his boys, heading off to college. Big time baseball players as well. It's awesome, man. Happy birthday, fellas. If I can get Drew in here, we'll get him to sing also. Let's see. Skip, does Fairfield get in? I know the record and all, but does that league get 2? I think Fairfield does get in. With an RPI of 2, that's going to be hard to keep them out. I mean, I'm assuming that RPI is stuck at 2. I hadn't checked today. But hey, Drew, you want to come sing happy birthday? No. He goes, no. Drew, you want to come sing happy birthday? I'll try to get him. Trivia. Oh, man. Now, what's more outdated, your landline or Terrio's AOL email account? The AOL email account has got to be. There's still some functionality behind a landline, I guess. I guess there's functionality behind the AOL email address. But Tim Gotro, speaking of Georgia, imagine if Skip had succeeded in luring Paul to Athens on behalf of Vince Dooley, right? How about that? What a story that was. Yeah, that would have severely changed the SEC landscape. Will Hildebrand, well, you know what would have happened is LSU would have hired Tim Corbin in 2007. He wanted the job. Corbin wanted the job in 07. Of course, they hired Paul, and then it's worked out okay, I'd say, for both. Will Hildebrand, what's up? Cliff Nelson, Telly Rock, hope she feels better. I will, Cliff. Thanks, man. Spurge, Hershey needs a Hudco collar. Hey, bud. Hey, Drew. Drew, come see. He goes, no. Let's see. Only problem is now who's going to replace Maneri. So we've talked about that a little bit already. I mean, there's one very obvious name. So let's hope LSU plays for as long as Florida does, and then you'll get your answer pretty quickly. Jerry DeLucky, morning sconers from Houston. Had Angels Envy after a few rounds of golf yesterday. Thanks for the advice on it. Yep, Angels Envy is really good. Jerry sent me a text yesterday on the text line, 225-396-4400. And I asked if $44 was a good price. It is a good price for Angels Envy. A lot of places you now see it north of 50, and I don't like Angels Envy north of 50. I like it a lot, but not at over $50. Brian and Andy Pinton, good morning from Texarkana. Jerry Derigo, good morning. Robert Ellis Boudreau, good morning. Brian and Andy Pinton, I'm going to be a skeleton waiting on my... Go ahead. I'm just procrastinating so much. Like, I've got the hats, and Erica even got the mailers in the other room. I just literally need to, like, put the addresses on the mailers, bring them to the UPS or the mail store, whatever, and send them. That's funny. Bubba Tatum, I sent someone to the first Hudco hat party and still never got one. Honestly, I blame Erica. Yeah, crazy. Rode Yule. Yesterday LSU D1 had LSU 63 and Bama 64. Yeah, saw that. So I did see Kendall Rogers tweeted that they are going to have an updated. Well, let me check his thing. They're going to have an updated bracketology thing coming up. So as soon as they have it, if he posts it this morning, by the time we're off, we'll talk about it. Pat Huseman, Jason Williams, what's up? Nicholas Cantrell, good morning from Cabo. Andrew Bear, how old is Sullivan? He's 52. So 52 or 53? I think he's 52. He's 52. December 27th. Robert Ellis Boudreau. Matt, is the Old Forester bottle back there in 1910 or 1920? And which of the two do you prefer? So I have both, actually. I don't know which one you see. Where is it? Oh, under there. That's the 1910 and the 1920. Oh, the 1920's in the cabinet over there. So I have both. I like the 1910. Andrew Bear, why did Palmineri announce his retirement before the season was over? For sure, was it a tug at the heartstrings of the committee? Andrew, I think you watched my my video, my thoughts on Palmineri's retirement, because it's kind of exactly how I put it. I mean, yes, I think that's part of it. I think it's a nudge to the committee to get him in. The other part too is it does allow LSU's administrators to be above board now in their search, right? Scott Woodward and Stephanie Remp and LSU's admins can now go on LSU's behalf, start engaging in the process and asking permission here and there and whatnot to speak to coaches. So, and like this would be a good time to do it, right? So, conference tournaments wrap up. Some are done already. Tomorrow is selection Monday. Well, you're obviously not going to be talking to coaches while they're in a tournament, but if you have this a couple days where you can get on the phone with people or meet their representatives, gauge interest, formally. Now it's just to speed up the process, because the last thing you would want to have happen is, like, let's say LSU season, just hypothetically, let's say LSU doesn't get in the field. Okay, hypothetically. Well, LSU's got to wait. Let's say all right, hypothetically. Let's say it's Kevin O'Sullivan, all right? I'm just operating on a hypothetical. Let's say LSU doesn't get in the field and they want O'Sullivan. Well, they have to wait until Florida season ends. What if Florida makes through regionals and then through into super regionals, and then let's say they go to Omaha? Well, like, are you going to sit around and wait 3 weeks? Just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to get an answer? And what if it doesn't happen? You know what I mean? And then it puts even more pressure on the guy who's currently coaching. And so... that's why now you can just do it above board, right? You can start your search above board. Andrew Bear, what would you like to see done at the box to get LSU back to the top as far as facility? Oh, as far as facilities, I mean, Andrew, it's still a premier place, man. It's just 12 years old. I mean, I don't. I mean, if you want to put chair backs down the baselines, if you want to. I mean, they replaced the scoreboard. They added the hitting facility out there, the indoor facility attached. I mean, it's still an amazing place. Just, Duty Noble they just renovated. It's just newer. They have this whole entrance to it. They got the big condos behind the left field wall. I mean, it's just, just newer and more palatial. But the box is amazing. Let's see, Brian, been watching your rants on YouTube. My favorite is the college football ranking, Cincinnati. I need to start putting this up there again. Tony Williams, Oregon State 1-2. I was talking about SEC, but yes, Tony, you're right. Cale Reynolds, have you heard anything about McDonald from Louisville not coming? Not coming. I have heard Cale. Yes, the answer is no. I tell people this all the time, and they're like, "Well, money talks." Like, no, it doesn't. I mean, some people are just content where they are, and what I've been told about Dan McDonald is LSU gauged interest 4 years ago. They gauged interest again this time, and LSU's not the only program that's going to kick the tires. He does not want to leave Louisville. He likes being in the ACC. He likes being at Louisville. He likes being in Louisville. He likes his job. It's his program. He's built it. It's just flatly the answer is no on McDonald. Reagan Lee, today's my dad's 50th. There you go. Taking him to Death Valley this fall. Didn't have anything tangible to give him, so I called LSU Athletic Department to see if they'd send a birthday card saying you're coming to Death Valley. Less than 24 hours later, autographed photo from Coach O telling my dad happy birthday. That's very cool. Very cool story. And happy birthday to your dad. That's awesome. Andrew Bear, 10-12 on my NBA playoff bets so far. That means 10 wins, 12 losses, or you're 10 out of 12. Because 10-12 isn't very good, dude. Love Coinbase. It's easy. Coinbase is easy. That's the functionality of it, Brian, is very easy. There's no doubt. But you do pay fees on Coinbase, and that's one of the downsides of it. I like that shirt, Matt. It looks comfortable. My Brock shirt? Yeah, man, just a cotton Brock t-shirt. I do like it. Charlie Cavell, what's up, man? Father John David Mathern, good morning. Craig Duga, good morning. John Bro, Dylan Landry, have a great Memorial Day weekend. Checking in from Grand Isle. Yeah, y'all be safe out there, man. We're heading down to New Orleans today. Every Memorial Day weekend, we have a Moscona family reunion crawfish boil. I mean, it's been my whole life, so... Heading down to my Uncle Mike's in New Orleans. Got a lot of our family from Arkansas. The Arkansas family y'all see pop in here from time to time. My Uncle Benny, my Aunt Mary, my Aunt Sharon, all that y'all see. My cousin Jeremy, y'all see pop on here every now and again. They're all in town, so excited about it. It's really the one like guaranteed weekend a year that we get to see all of our family from around. So fun day. So we're gonna head down there around noontime for a crawfish bowl. Have a good day. Whoever LSU hires, they better consider Craig Duga as the new bunting coach. Matt, I'm thinking of starting a podcast. I'll just steal all your info, claim it as my own, call you a hater of LSU to garner success. Thoughts? Sure. Dude, do you. Whatever you think. Where are we? Charlie Cavell, he won nearly 70% of his games in his career. That's stupid good in baseball, only behind Berman and Tanner in winning percentage. Had a great run, man, no doubt. Speaking of whiskey and wine, what's the plan now that Jordy is gone? You probably have addressed it, but I missed it. Yeah, honestly, I get asked that question just about every day of my life. It's cool though. It's very humbling that many people have been interested in that show and have engaged. I mean, it certainly means we did something right on that show. But I don't know. I really don't know. We haven't formalized any plan for the fall yet. And, you know, I don't know. Roe indirectly kind of joined the show last year. I mean, it wasn't a formal thing. It was just, I told him what we were doing for the game, and he said, "Oh man, maybe come by." He came by, threw on a headset, and he hung out. I mean, a handful of games he did. And I love him. I mean, he adds, certainly the knowledge of a guy who played, and I know he'll fit the vibe of the show. He ain't afraid to let him fly. You know what I mean? Maybe it's Roe. I don't know. Let's see. Get back over here. Cody Boudreaux. Matt, are you an alcoholic? Cody, I do not think I'm an alcoholic. I collect whiskey, though. It is a hobby of mine. So, but no, I'm not an alcoholic. Will Hildebrand, LSU to get in -20 in my book total guess. Well, those are pretty good odds if that's the case. Hunter Picard is the selection committee today. Tomorrow, Monday is always, Memorial Day is always a selection day. Will, LSU baseball had a crazy week with the skip film, then the retirement. Yeah, they sure did. Hypothetically, would Todd Walker be a potential candidate? Charles, as a head coach, no. I don't mind saying that. I have talked to Todd in the past where I think he'd be interested in being a hitting coach. Now, not having been a college coach before, is that realistic? I don't know, but I mean, I can look at guys like Tim Hudson becoming the pitching coach at Auburn. I think Lance Bergman's coaching college baseball now. Didn't Robin Ventura? Didn't Oklahoma State hire Robin Ventura? I mean, yeah. Anyway. Murder Giraffe, what's up? Merrick Mathern, Rowe came by for the free drinks and cigars. That'd still be there. Leandra Lewis, good morning. Cliff, we're not alcoholics, we're drunks. Alcoholics go to me. Look, I'm not trying to downplay that at all. Like, I know people struggle. I know you're not either, Cliff, but you know, I know there are people who struggle, and I'm not trying to make light of it at all. I was just trying to sidestep the irreverent comment from whoever that was a bit ago. Tim, I wouldn't have made it through last football season without whiskey and wine. Very therapeutic after crushing defeats. Thanks for that, Matt. I mean, if we can make it work to keep it going, you know, we will. It's just, it's going to be different because Jordy and I can't do it contractually. I can't, you know, so. And honestly, if I were him, I'd be doing my own. So, I mean, who knows? We may split the audience. Maybe he does one, we do one. I don't know. Merrick, does Todd Walker live in Baton Rouge? He does not. Todd lives up in Shreveport. Eric, the fact that Lewis Coleman was almost cut gives me hope for next year's staff. Crazy. How about that story? I had Lewis on Friday, and he talked about how Palmineri was going to cut him after his sophomore year. And it got him focused, and obviously went on to be the SEC Pitcher of the Year and a big leaguer. So. Dale Broussard, in the presser, Paul made it sound like it was the first time he spoke to Woodward about retiring, said it was his decision. They've been vetting a new coach for several weeks, though. Dale, was I wrong about Paul retiring? Let me rephrase. Dale, have I ever been wrong about anything along these lines? I will tell you that 100% for a fact, the process of vetting coaches began months ago. Craig, Angel's Envy is great. Isaac Bowman Ported is slightly better. Louis Bergeron, LSU would not got the best women's basketball coach. Now let's get the best baseball coach. Tell you what, Louis, I'll say to piggyback that comment, one reason I got a ton of confidence is Scott Woodward. He swings for the fences. He aims high. He knows the calls to make. Look, a lot of people could have called on Kim Mulkey. Maybe she wouldn't have left Baylor for other schools. And it's not necessarily to say she would have left Baylor for LSU definitively. What I do know is it wasn't just about money. She had a long checklist of things she wanted. Recruiting, budget, staff, your support staff, facility. Like, she wanted a lot of stuff. And Scott knew or I really should say Stephanie Remp. I mean, Stephanie functionally made all that happen. Like, she is the most important person in this athletic department that nobody really knows. She's a total rock star stud. She will be a Power 5 AD, mark my words. Stephanie Remp. She was with Scott at Washington, and when he got the A&M job, he brought her, and then when he got the LSU job, he brought her again. She's the COO, Executive Deputy AD, and Chief Operating Officer of LSU Athletics. That's her title. But anyway, my point is, Scott knew who to call, right, to get that list checked off, and he'll do the same for baseball. Charlie, I'm giving up on ever giving a cap. Dustin Bizarre. The problem is, like literally in a very literal sense, I don't have like an unlimited supply of Hudco hats. So we have these Hudco parties and 80 hats go like that to the people who are there. Because I have to give them to the people who are there, but I put like 10 aside for the people who've been asking forever and they're just sitting in the other room. We just got to order more. Dustin Barzar, here in two names, Schnagel and Godwin. Dude says KOS and Vitello not in play. Also mentioned Kane as a replacement. Are you kidding me? LOL. I will tell you again that Schlossnagel is a red herring. Nobody else who's talked to Schlossnagel, as of now anyway. Godwin would definitely be in play. To say O'Sullivan and Vitello are both not in play is just wrong. And Nolan Kane, there's no chance that, and it's not Nolan. I mean, I love Nolan, but they're not going to hire someone who hasn't been head coach before. So that last part might invalidate everything the guy before you said. Feeling adventurous, mix 1910 and 1920, call it 1915 or 1935. Andrew Bayer, I saw you were featured on a Hudco promotional testimony. I always knew you had a face for text, comment celebrity stardom. That's so good. Oh, man. So good. Daniel Clark, should Paul have retired before this season or right after COVID hit last year? Look, I know I said this on air, Daniel, and I'll say it here again, that I know I have firsthand conversations where there were people close to Paul who encouraged him to announce his retirement before the season started. So that way this season would have become more of a farewell tour. And maybe you play on the emotion of win one for the Gipper. And Mike Martin did it. Skip did it. So... Anyway, that's what it is, man. He did it the way he wanted to. And honestly, the point I've made all along, as hard as it was to not just blurt out what was happening throughout the year, the reality is that Paul Mainieri deserved to call his shot. After 39 years as a coach, all that he accomplished, 15 years at LSU, he deserved to call his shot how he wanted to go out. Which is why I was very adamant about trying to get people to shut up over the last few months. Anyway. Hey, Dad, good morning. Craig Dugas, Woody is slowly cementing his legacy on AD as AD for LSU. I can only imagine the blunders if Joe is still around. True. By the way, I mean, if you ever feel you get a wild hair and you want to go back, it's up on YouTube. Go listen to my comments the day Scott Woodward was hired. Go back and listen to my comments on AFR the day Scott Woodward was hired. I said it was the most influential move for LSU athletics since they hired Nick Saban. And remember, even at the time, Nick Saban, when they hired him, wasn't Nick Saban. Ben Clark, what's up? Kirk Taylor, what's up? Andrew Bayer, who's the last LSU AD that had to make two big hires within a few months of each other? A few months. Yeah, no, because they transitioned from Skip to Oliva. I mean, Skip hired Les, Skip hired Paul, Oliva. The transition was Oliva who hired Trent Johnson while he was transitioning in. Yeah. Few months? That's rare, for sure. Kirk, I was in church to pray for new baseball coach. Have no fear. According to the uninformed LSU masses, Blake Dean will be named because he's one of us. This is his dream job and he loves LSU. Look, y'all. I really, really, really like Blake Dean, personally, and I think he's gonna have a great career as a coach. And maybe one day that path may lead back to LSU, but it ain't gonna be this year. I mean, I can say with a tremendous amount of certainty that it won't be Blake Dean. How about Todd Peterson? Ryan Dixon, best place in Chicago for Chicago dog, not Wrigley. I don't know, man. Somebody who knows, fire that away. I'm not a huge hot dog guy, but when I'm at Wrigley, when I'm at any ballpark, I'm gonna get a hot dog. Heard from cousin that Blake Dean was eating crawfish at Willie's with Woodward. Y'all are so stupid. Oh man. Cliff, if Jordy does a wine show on his stream and you do a whiskey show on your stream and you monitor each other's streams and we audience monitor both streams, problem solved. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Spurs, anything new on Gilbert? Nope, nothing new on Gilbert. Trying to get his academics in order. I would say get through this summer session, get his academics in order, and we'll see where he lands if he ends up playing college football this year. Rap in batches. Is it possible you'll ever start doing an MMA segment on AFR covering more than just UFC, but other promotions like One Championship, Bellator, PFL, so on? There's enough fans here, I think. Unfortunately, there's not. As big a promotion as the UFC is, the only time I can really justify spending time with a UFC segment is when there's either an A-lister, like Conor McGregor, or a local angle. If I could get, like when I get Daniel Cormier on, or if I can get Poirier on. I mean, that's, when Sean Jordan was fighting, that's really the only way that I can justify it, honestly. I'd love to, but, you know, it's, the old saying in radio is play the hits, man. There's a reason you've heard Sweet Home Alabama 10 million times. Play the hits. Joseph Strickland, good morning. Is O'Sullivan his own recruiting coordinator at Florida? He may have a guy on staff with that title, but he does a ton of the recruiting and handles the pitchers. I mean, it's one of the more impressive things whenever, like a lot of scouts that I've talked to, said like point blank, Kevin O'Sullivan is the one at the showcases. Like, he is physically at the showcases, at JUCO games, at ballparks. Like, he goes out and sees these kids. And so for those kids, it's really impactful, right? I mean, when Kevin O'Sullivan comes to your game to see you, it's a bit, and look, Corbin does it too, you know? One thing with Paul is, I mean, and how he has sort of, waned late in his career is that, that was just Nolan's job. You know, a lot of times Paul didn't see the players until they got on campus. As wild as that sounds, it's true. Scott Sparks, couldn't you have an after show just hanging with your friend, even if he's next employee, without guaranteed promotion? Yeah, but Scott, the difference is you're not just hanging out with your, like, they can't tell me I can't hang out with him. But if you're doing a show that you're broadcasting, then you're competing against your company. Like, if you were a doctor who was employed by a clinic and then you just started seeing patients on the side, I don't think your employer would be really cool on that, right? So, makes sense? That might not be a great example. Can't Jordy show up and sit at the bar in the back and yell out comments? Oh, man. Anyway. Let's see. Just about to get wrapped up here. Hey, Ron Richmond. What's up, Mr. Ron? Matt, you're so right about your comment about Coach Maneri and Karen, what they do for Kelly's foundation. They're great people. I might add, we thank you too for helping us help others. I know our beautiful Kelly sends thanks from heaven too. Amen. So for those that don't, who see that comment and don't know, I did mention in the open of the show on Friday when I talked about Paul Maneri, about how a lot of people don't see the stuff he does away from the baseball field. And I mentioned that every year he's the honorary guest at the Kelly Richmond Foundation Gala. Mr. Ron Richmond is Kelly's dad, and Ron and Patsy started the foundation in Kelly's memory and have done an awesome job carrying on her legacy. But Paul Maneri knew Kelly was working for the ALS Foundation while battling ovarian cancer herself, and that's when I met Kelly. And she might have lost her battle with ovarian cancer. Her parents have carried on her mission with Kelly's Closet, which allows women who are going through cancer treatments to come in and just pick out whatever clothes that they want. Because obviously a lot of times going through chemotherapy can lose weight. And Mr. Ron told the story about Kelly was waiting for a treatment, and there was a woman who had her clothes cinched up because they didn't fit. Hey, babe.
Hey, we got a major problem here.
I know, I can tell. I told you 2 hours ago to go to after hours clinic. I'll take you.
It wasn't open. and I
Okay,
had to
okay,
wash
okay,
my
okay, okay,
hair.
okay, okay.
So I'm
Okay.
wait, I'm
Don't, hey,
Okay,
hey, hey,
shut
hey,
up.
hey, hey. Erica's eyes swollen shut. Like this. She's like this. Point I was making is that Paul and Karen Maneri are great every year. They come for the entire event. They come early, stay late, talk to everybody. A lot of times you'll see dignitaries at events kind of come late, show face, and then find a way to sneak out. Not them. Real good, genuine people, man, for sure. Brian Madare, Todd Peterson. Musso, moving on. Yep, so starting Tuesday, Musso and Mario, they will, it's not pink eye, Merrick. I don't think so anyway. Like, it's not discolored. It's just her eyelid was swollen. Yeah, so Musso and Mario on Tuesday will start that slot for Handegrift's place. They're not the full-time replacement. They'll be filling in until the new show is in place, which should be sometime early July. All right, there's the new projected field of 64 from D1 Baseball. Thanks for posting that, Troy. Appreciate you. Follow the link. All right, where are we? LSU is the last team in. They've got Liberty and Fairfield in. They got Alabama out. So Georgia out, Bama out. They got LSU is literally the last team in. That should hold today. That should hold. So I'm surprised Liberty's in at 60, quite honestly. I am. We'll see. Okay, y'all. I gotta go. Is Hanny still gonna do stuff with y'all? Yes. Hanny is still gonna do post game, and he is still gonna be on Jimmy's show a couple of nights a week. So yes, he'll still be around. All right. Matt, the people want whiskey and wine. You get it. It just won't be me and Jordy. If they hired Murder Giraffe, how many players do you think transfer from the baseball team? Same as a given year, man. That happens every year where you have kind of a purge of guys who don't really play much. They go seek other opportunities and frees up roster spots. Thomas Lamont, if they hired O'Sullivan, do you think they'll let AD go? AD is going to be gone no matter who they hire. You're right about there not being enough fans. Louisiana MMA fans suck. But if lame Connor McNugget is fighting, oh God, let's all go crazy. That's kind of the point, though, man. He draws a crowd. And if that's what you need, though, to draw attention to other great fighters, I'll take it. Whatever brings attention to it. Everybody remember why we celebrate Memorial Day for our fallen warriors, so remember that while you sit back and enjoy your whiskey or beer tomorrow. Amen. We'll be here tomorrow, Trevor. We'll be doing a show tomorrow, so we'll talk about that for sure. But definitely, y'all have a great Memorial Day weekend. A safe Memorial Day weekend. if you're getting on the boat or whatever. I know some people always get. It seems like people get on the water, and I always hear about accidents and stuff. So just be safe, make good decisions, and let's talk tomorrow. Okay, y'all. Y'all have an awesome day. Peace. See ya.